here, right? It's time. It says excellent. Yes, got it. Yes. Yes, you can see my face, right? Clearly. So in the before video, what happened was that my voice was not actually visible. My voice was not. It cannot be heard actually unless and until a person has actually commented. I did not know about it. So again, I think again I have to make this video. Okay, but it's okay. So today we are going to discuss about excretion process. This is the last topic of our lesson, and it's going to be very easy to understand also, and not much is there to explain also. Very easy and very simple to understand as well. So this easy to understand as well. So this excretion process will mainly deal with excretion in plants and excretion in animals. And we are going to see excretion in plants, animals and human beings. We are going to have more focus about in human beings only because human beings it is given more in detail. We are going to have a detailed discussion for plants as well, but in animals we are not going to go in detail because that is not given in your textbook also. So just we are going to have a detailed understanding about the excretion in plants and excretion in human beings. Okay. So whenever we actually talk about the process of excretion, excretion is nothing but it is a kind of a process which mainly deals with the removing of the substances. So the removing of the metabolic waste and the harmful waste of the body of an organism in the form of urine is considered to be the process of respiration. So it is considered to be the process of excretion. So excretion is such a simple process also which mainly deals with the removing of the substance, that is a metabolic waste from the body of an organism. This metabolic waste can be of anything. For example, if you see in human beings, if you see this kind of a waste, human beings will actually excrete the carbon dioxide as a waste product. That can be considered as a waste product. But if you see in plants, plants will actually release oxygen gas during the process of photosynthesis. That is considered to be a waste product. And sometimes these waste products need not be the waste products which cannot be used again. They can be used. For example, in plants, they release oxygen gas. By the process of photosynthesis, that is a useful product because of which only we are alive and we are able to breathe. So the waste products can also be useful. Okay, and the waste products which are actually being released by the plants are nothing but during the process of respiration, the plants will actually release carbon dioxide gas which is utilized by the plants itself for the process of photosynthesis. So that is also carbon dioxide is also very important for the plants. So all these are the different kinds of gases, the waste products which are being released by different living organisms. So each and every living organism releases its own kind of a waste product, maybe in the form of a solid, maybe in the form of a gas or anything. So that is our main topic for today, that is the excretion process. So when we are actually discussing about excretion, we should in human beings. So the one thing that comes in your mind, the first thing is the kidneys, because kidneys are considered to be the god of excretion processes. So this is the excretion. So the urine which is actually being formed in the kidneys will actually reach the urinary bladder. As you can see, this is a urinary bladder which actually helps in storing of the urine until it has the sensation of passing it out. So that is a urinary bladder. And and between the kidney and the urinary bladder there is a tube-like structure, so which actually connects between the urine and which actually connects the urinary bladder and the kidneys. So this kind of a tube is called as a ureter. This ureter will actually help us in passing the formed urine from the kidneys to the urinary bladder. Okay, and in urinary bladder it helps in storing the urine until and unless we feel like passing it out. Okay. And with the help of urethra, we pass out the urine. So this is the main structure. So whenever asked in exam also, you have to draw this structure. This is very, very important. For sure, one question will come in board exam. This to draw the structure of the excretory system, one question will definitely come. Okay. And I think now you got an understanding like what is actually the structure of excretory system. So it mainly consists of a pair of kidneys and a tube-like structure which is ureter, which comes out of each of the kidney and the urinary bladder, and a urethra wherein we pass out the urine. So this is the main structure. So let us now have an understanding about let us now have an understanding about what is actually the kidney. So kidney it is in the form of a bean-shaped structure. As you can see the kidney shape also, it is in the bean-shaped structure. like it is in the, as you can see the beans also, it is in the form of a bean shaped structure. And in these kidneys we have some functional units, some very small functional units called as nephrons. These nephrons are the ones which actually help us in the formation of urines. So what are actually these nephrons? Nephrons are nothing but the functional unit of the kidneys are considered to be the nephrons. So why these nephrons are very important in the body of an organism? Because these are the ones which actually make the urine. So let us try to see what is actually the structure of this nephron. Then we'll actually come to the main thing, that is understanding of the entire process of formation of urine, everything. Okay. So if you see in your textbook as well, we see that I think you got an understanding about this structure as well, right? These are the kidneys, this is the ureter, and this is the urinary bladder, and this is the urethra which will pass out the urine. Okay. And if you see here, this kind of a cup-shaped structure, if you see this kind of a cup-shaped capsule, you can see that is called as a Bowman's capsule. And inside the Bowman's capsule, if you see, we have a kind of all the grouped arteries, all the kind of grouped blood capillaries. Those kind of blood capillaries together in the Bowman's capsule are being called as a glomerulus, and the filtrate or the kind of substances that it forms are considered to be the glomerulus filtrate. And these Bowman's capsule and glomerulus together are being called as a Malpighian tubule. So the first point that you have to keep in mind, what is actually the Malpighian tubule? Malpighian tubule is nothing but it is the combination of both Bowman's capsule and the glomerulus is considered to be the Bowman's that is considered to be the that is considered to the Malpighian tubule. So this Malpighian tubule, if you see, one form of the urine, one form of the artery. So one form of the artery is actually bringing the blood, which actually contains all the nitrogenous phase, the glucose, the salts, and everything into the glomerulus. And after the substances which actually comes out from the glomerulus is called as a glomerulus filtrate. And this kind of substances actually, so this is called as an afferent artery, and this is called as an effervent artery, because affervent artery is nothing but the blood is actually going into the glomerulus, and the effervent is not the E. Affervent means A. First always be affervent A. Then effervent means effector. Effector you can know now. Then E. Effervent will actually come out. From the glomerulus. And this artery will come out from the glomerulus, and it actually forms a coil-like structure around this tubes. And this kind of a tube is called as a proximal convoluted tube. Okay. This proximal convoluted tube, the absorption process. Once we go to that, you will understand. Let us now try to understand the structure. Okay, this is a proximal convoluted tube, and here you can see this is a kind of U-shaped structure. This is called as a Henle's loop. This is a loop, so this is a Henle's loop, U-shaped structure. And here this part, this kind of a part, as you can see the arrows above, this is that is called as a DCT, that is distally convoluted tubule. Okay, I think my voice is also visible properly, right? So that no disturbance is actually been created. Okay. Then next, the entire urine which is actually formed in this nephron, then it is actually been given out in that kind of a duct. It is a kind of a tube that is called as a collecting duct. I think now we got an understanding about the entire structure of nephron. Okay, nephrons are nothing but they are the functional units of the kidneys. Okay, and this is the Bowman's capsule. And inside it we have the glomerulus, and together Bowman's capsule and glomerulus are being considered as a Malpighian tubule. That is the first point. And the second point is that the artery which actually, the effervent artery which actually comes out from the glomerulus will actually forms a coil around that around the PCT and DCT. Okay, this is the PCT, that is proximal convoluted tubule, and this is a Henle's loop, that is Henle's loop, this one. And here this is the DCT. Okay, and here it will entire urine is being drained out in this collecting duct. So now this is the structure of actually the nephron. Okay, now let us try to understand, before we actually go into the substances, let us try to understand what are the different type of waste products that are being actually given out from the body of an organism. That is a human beings. What are the waste products that we human beings will actually give out? The first thing that we'll actually mention is the respiratory waste products. So what are these respiratory waste products? That is a carbon dioxide gas is a respiratory waste product that is given out by the human beings. Okay, so first point is the respiratory waste product, that is the carbon dioxide. Okay, then the second one that you're going to mention is the nitrogenous waste. Okay, these nitrogenous waste are the kind of waste which are produced by are human beings. When we actually mix, when a different kind of food products are being mixed, and we try, when these products are mixed, and they're absorbed up to an extent that the entire energy from that is being taken out, some kind of a filtrate, some kind of a waste product is actually being formed. So that kind of a waste product is called as a nitrogenous waste product. These nitrogenous waste products can be very harmful. For example, you can say urea, uric acid. This can be so harmful that the accumulation of these in the body of an organism, if it increases, it can even cause the death of an organism. Okay, the death of the human beings. So urea you can take, uric acid you can take. Urea is nothing, it is a ureteric organisms. Then human beings are considered to be ureteric organisms because they contain urea. Then uric acid also there. Then we have ammonia is also there. Our urine is ammonia only. So, and apart from that, the third important point is the sweat. So in the form of the sweat also we try to release the waste products, that is a glucose, that is a salts, and water also we try to remove with the help of the sweat, that is a formation of the sweat glands. I think now you got an understanding of what are the different waste products. That is, if it is given for the 3 mark, you have to mention in detail about the respiratory pigment, the respiration process. You have to mention the carbon dioxide gas, how it is given out. The second part is the nitrogenous waste. We human beings are the ureotelic and uricotelic because we contain both urea and uric acid, which are the nitrogenous waste. And third is the sweat glands, which produces sweat in kind of hot situations or extreme tense situations also. That in that way also we try to remove the waste salts and other waste products. So these are the 3 main important things that you have to remember. Okay, then now we got an understanding of what is actually the glomerulus, what is actually the renal tubular, what is a collecting duct. Now let us go in detail what is actually been given here. If you see here the nephron. What is actually nephron? Nephron is in the form of a tubes. It is in the tangleness of the tubes, and the filtering part is called as a glomerulus filtrate. Okay. So the glomerulus is nothing but it mainly consists of, as you can see, it consists of mainly the blood capillaries to which the renal artery is being attached. So the one artery which will actually bring out the blood to the glomerulus is actually called as an effervent. Which will take out the blood from the glomerulus is called as an effervent. Okay, you must remember. And the Bowman's capsule extends into a fine tube which is coiled, and this is a fine tube which is coiled around the tubes, and the tubes from various nephrons converge together, and the tubes from various nephrons converge together into one, that is a collecting duct. In this collecting duct, the entire urine is been given out it is drained out in this collecting duct, which is actually formed in this nephron. It has been drained out in a collecting duct. Now let us see what is actually, how the urine is actually been formed. Okay, the physiology of the urine formation. The 3 main important steps which are actually being formed are the 4 you can see. First, the ultrafiltration, next the selective reabsorption, then the tubular secretion. First process, that is the filtration in the glomerulus. How the filtration is actually been taking place in the glomerulus is that, so this glomerulus is actually so the blood, so as you can see here, so the blood which is actually containing all the waste products, which will actually bring out to the glomerulus. In this glomerulus, what happens is that it will try to utilize all the useful products from this, all the useful products like amino acids and like glucose and everything. We'll try to utilize it. And the other products which it cannot be utilized, like the nitrogenous waste, some water particles, some salts, some glucose particles also. Those kind of all products together are called as a glomerulus filtrate. Okay, let me read out this important sentence. So the liquid part of the blood which actually contains the nitrogenous waste, amino acids and everything in the Bowman's capsule, which actually forms the glomerulus filtrate. And here the blood is under a greater pressure. The blood is under a greater pressure in the glomerulus filtrate. So therefore this is called as ultrafiltration. This ultrafiltration is also called as nephric filtration. Okay. So from there what happens is that the blood will move on to the Bowman's capsule. From from the glomerulus it will move on to the PCT and DCT. In the PCT and DCT, what happens is a selective reabsorption will take place. What is a selective reabsorption? Selective reabsorption, we try to absorb all the useful particles like amino acids, salts, glucose particles, then some kind of useful other products like and everything are being absorbed by the blood and following through the capillaries. And water is also being absorbed by the process of osmosis, and selective reabsorption of glucose, amino acids and salt will actually take place in this loop, that is Henle's loop, PCT and DCT, everything. Then the third step is a tubular secretion. In the tubular secretion is nothing but it is still the third step of the filtration again take place, wherein it removes all the urea, uric acid, ammonia and everything and creatinine into the tubular secretion. So these are the three main important processes which are mainly involved in the formation of urine. And the fourth step is nothing but physiology, how the urine is being formed. The fourth step is the collecting duct. Entire urine which is actually being formed, it is drained out in the collecting duct. So from the collecting, so many collecting ducts together will actually form into the ureter, wherein the ureter will actually have a connection to the urinary bladder. With the help of that, the urine is being given out. Urinary bladder it is stored, and with the help of urethra it is passed out when we have a sensation of passing it out, passing the urine out. If they ask this specifically what is the function of collecting duct, you must remember this point. So these tubules from many nephrons will empty into a larger collecting duct. So those ducts will drain the urine collected from the nephron into the ureter, again which will go into the urinary bladder and to the urethra finally. So this is the main structure of the glomerulus. Okay. So this will actually increase the concentration of urine as well. Okay. So the human urine is mainly composed of water and urea. And another important fact which you can actually remember is that vasopressin is a hormone which is actually produced by the pituitary gland, which is a growth hormone, which will actually help us in the regulating the amount of urine that is actually being formed also. This vasopressin is a hormone. Okay, this vasopressin is also called as some anti-deuteric hormone. So just can tell vasopressin. So this vasopressin is an important hormone which actually help us in the formation and the regulation of the urine. Okay. For example, if in a person if there is a deficiency of vasopressin, then they do not have the control of how much urine is actually being formed and given out. And in a normal person, is 1 to 2 liters of urine is being given out, but in a deficiency of vasopressin will cause 10 to 50 liters of urine to be given out in a day. That is very much. So the person will suffer with various other diseases also. So this is the important thing. So how we can actually know the amount of urine that is actually being regulated means amount of, see, it depends upon how much water we are drinking. So more the water we are drinking, the more the urine is being regulated and generated also. So the amount of water that is actually present in the body also, based on that also, it will try to form the urine. Okay. Now let us see the excretion process in plants. So the excretion process in plants will not have any specialized organs. So just with the help of some simple processes, they will try to remove the waste products. The first one is a respiratory waste product. The respiratory waste product is a carbon dioxide gas, which is again utilized by the plant itself for the photosynthesis. And the photosynthesis, it releases the oxygen gas. Okay, so this oxygen gas, carbon dioxide, water vapor are being removed through the stomata of the leaves and the lenticels of the stem. So lenticels are nothing but there are some small pores which are present on the plant stem which will actually help us in removing the waste products. The second point is that some waste products will actually collect in the leaves. So what happens is that some of the waste products will actually get collected in the leaves and the bark of the trees also. So during the autumn season, during that time what happens is that these fall of the leaves and bark will actually take place. Fall of the leaves. So by shedding of the leaves and the falling of the leaves also, they can remove the waste products. The third important thing is that, and some waste products are rendered harmless and they are stored in the plant body as solid bodies. For example, resins, gum, rubber, essential oils like sunflower oil, sesame oil, then you can tell many groundnut oil, all these are considered to be the essentials. Jasmine oil. These are also given out some such waste products. These are the three important things: the gaseous waste products, respiratory gases, or then photosynthesis in one point. And second point, the leaves and the bark also contain some waste products. By shedding of that also, they can remove the waste products. And third important one, resins, gums, latex, and everything. So describe the structure and functioning of nephron. You can just draw the entire figure. Then the functioning of nephron. First, you have to tell that with the help of the renal, so Bowman's capsule, then glomerulus filter together, Marfagian tubule, then one artery which actually goes into the glomerulus is the effervent artery. One which comes out is the effervent. Okay, in that also what happens is the most water and soluble solid are being transformed to the nephron at the Bowman's capsule. Okay, in the proximal tubule, the selective reabsorption will actually take place, and unwanted particles have been added to the urine also. So the filter then also moves down into the loop of Henle. So in Henle's loop also we try to see that where more water is actually been absorbed, and from here the water also moves into the dialysing tube and also goes to the collecting duct, and collecting duct will collect the urine from different nephrons. and after that it moves into the tubular secretion will take place, wherein the reabsorption takes the water reabsorption takes place, and again it finally goes to the ureter and finally to the urinary bladder and to the urethra. So what are the different methods which are used by the plants? We have just now discussed, you can just refer it. And how is the amount of urine regulator? Because of the anti-deuteric hormone, it is also called as vasopressin. So depending upon the amount of water that is actually present in our body, and depending upon the regulation of the vasopressin hormone also. And I forgot very important thing, that is a hemodialysis. Hemodialysis is nothing but the artificial purification of the blood. So the artificial purification of the blood is considered to be hemodialysis. So if you see here, this is a process of hemodialysis wherein the person's blood is actually being purified by the artificial methods. Then it is called as a hemodialysis. So and the machine which is used is called as a dialyzer, hemodialyzer. Okay, the process of purifying of the blood in the artificial means is considered to be the hemodialysis. Okay, so what is actually the process which is involved? The first step is that from the main artery the blood is actually being taken out, as you know, from the main artery it is actually being taken out, and from that we try to, so the normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, but in the machine we have to use only the 1 degree Celsius blood. So for that we use an anticoagulant called as heparin. So we add this heparin. So we try to add this heparin, so that what happens is that the blood is cooled down from 37 degrees Celsius to 1 degree Celsius. Okay, and with the help of that, it will pass into this dialysing solution. And in this dialysing solution, it all contains the salts, glucose, amino acids, and everything. So all this will pass on to this dialysing solution. In the dialysing solution, what happens is, so all the waste products like urea, uric acid, nitrogenous waste gets dissolved in this dialysing solution. Okay, so like for example, so these are called as cellophane tubes. Okay, so the molecules of urea, uric acid will diffuse into the dialysing fluid. And after that, the fourth point is that the blood which is actually coming out is actually blood which is under temperature of 1 degree Celsius. Therefore, again an anti-heparin is added, wherein the blood is again heated to 37 degrees Celsius. When it is in 37 degrees Celsius, again it is kept out in the body of an organ. Body of the human means with the help of the main vein. So first is the main artery, then heparin is added, the 37 degrees to 1 degree, then the cellophane tubes, everything, then urea, uric acid, everything are being cleared out, then everything, and blood which is actually the purified blood which is coming out is a purified blood, and from the purified blood we try to see that an anti-heparin is added, so that the blood is again heated down to 37 degrees Celsius. So the normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius or 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, and again with the help of the main vein, it is actually being transported to the human veins. Okay, with the help of the main vein. So this is a process that you have to remember. So with that, we completed the chapter. One more important topic I left out. So different with the different organisms, with the help of the different ways, it will try to excrete the products. So the first important way is that so amoeba with the help of the contractile and vacuole will try to remove the waste products. Then kidneys are being used by the humans for the purification of the blood. Then malphizian tubules are being used by the insects. Then earthworms use nephridia for the process of removing the waste products, and the sponges and other organisms will use body surfaces for removing the waste products. So this is the entire revision for you about the excretion process. I think now you got an understanding, right? So with that, we are going to end the session. Hope you got an understanding. So in the next class, we are going to start with the some extra questions, and after that, we'll also discuss about some of the questions. We'll also discuss the in-text questions, NCERT in-text questions also. So if any doubts are there, you can just put down in the comment section. And this session PDF is also been linked to the description, so just you can refer to it. Okay. For this I'll make one more video, so that it will be easy for you to access also. So if you just search by this unknown for knowledge, and then you can just immediately get the video. Okay, so that is the main reason I'm making separate videos. So this is the main reason. So you got an understanding that the excretion process. With that, I'd like to end the session. Okay. Yes. So Any doubts you can just comment down, and I'll also give